Welcome, welcome, welcome to Total Transformation Secrets, the live Zoom. We're talking about thyroid today. And here, let me get my slides started. Yeah, there we go. And I think this is my favorite uh, presentation so far. So I hope you enjoy it. All month, we're talking about hormones and weight loss. Can you believe it's the last Saturday of the month? And um, and shout out to the Blue Phoenix. She's been with us all month. And I'm going to be sorry to see you go, Blue Phoenix, but we've got summer coming. Can't believe it. So today we're talking about thyroid labs. Now, I'm not going to take you to medical school, but what I'm sharing today, I didn't learn until I was in medical school. So I hope you feel a lot smarter by the end of this, but I don't want to hurt your brain too much. But there's something that your labs, maybe you got some lab tests back and you're like, it's up, it's down, I don't know. We can give you a little bit of a clue. Now, we're going to discover a lot today, but like I said, we're going to take it one bite at a time. So we're going to discover what thyroid hormone really does and why it matters. And it's more than just your weight. We're going to discover how to decode your labs like a thyroid detective, but you don't need the white coat and the stethoscope. We'll discover why communication breakdowns can cause confusion, fatigue, and frustration. That's true in life and in cells. We're going to discover the surprising upstream players. Who's the master conductor in behind your thyroid symptoms? And we're going to discover, let's see, there we go. Which tests give you the full picture and which are only half of the story. And thank you for those coming in. Let's see, I have to add a co-host. Thank you. So we'll keep this moving. So we talked about communication. So imagine, do people still mail things? I think people still mail things. But imagine you're mailing something really important, not just a birthday card, but something that could change someone's life. For instance, uh, let's say you need to mail some banking forms, or that are notarized, or you need contracts or something really important, but it can't be just an email. What do you do? Do you drop it in a mailbox, or do you send it registered with a return receipt? You send it registered mail with return receipt requested. Why? You want proof that it got there, and you want the person at the other end to do some action. So your cells are the same way. That's exactly how your thyroid tries to talk to the rest of your body. But what if no one writes back? These are the secrets we're going to discover today. So secret number one is how your body sends messages. Now, these are only two ways. There are more ways that your body sends messages. Your cells, we call that cell-to-cell communication. But one way of cell-to-cell communication is your nervous system. So your brain talks to the rest of your body. Another way of cell-to-cell communication, very different, is your endocrine system. And think about the difference between making a phone call and When I'm talking about this phone call, I'm talking about a landline. Okay. Maybe you don't know what a landline is. Back in the day, telephones had wires, had cords, and they connected across long distances via phone lines. Now we got Wi-Fi, but um, you could think of it as cable, right? Uh, and what happened? One ringy dingy, two ringy dingy, the person at the other end of the line picks up, and you have your conversation instantaneously. But if you put something in the mail, that's like the way the endocrine system talks or communicates. So you've got your registered letter with return receipt requested, but the we're talking about the thyroid today, but this is true of all your endocrine glands. They send the message out into the bloodstream and it just waits to find out, will the organ that I'm sending this message to open the envelope, read the message, and do the action that's inside, follow the instructions inside. So you never know when that's going to happen, right? So I have this little chart where I'm comparing the nervous system communication, which is like the phone call, versus the hormonal system communication, which is like the snail mail with registered letter. And you don't have to know, you don't have to uh, try to write down all these things, or, well, you could do a screenshot if you like, but I'm going to share this with you later. I just want you to see that there's a vast difference and a vast difference in function between how your nerves communicate and how your hormones communicate. And we're going to dig into this a little differently and a little more practically. But before we move forward, let's have a pop quiz. Oh, yeah, back to medical school. All the multiple choice questions. Okay, so here's the question. Out of these, which one might be a clue? Thank you. Which one might be a clue that your thyroid isn't getting the job done? A, feeling tired even after you've had a full night of sleep. B, gaining weight even though your diet is good. C, feeling cold all the time even though it might be warm outside. Or D, all of the above. Which one of these might be a clue that your thyroid's not getting the job done? You're right. I'll bet you answered D. So just like hormones, just like letters that you send, your registered mail, the delivery, the reception, and the response all matter. All right. Secret number 2. Now let's take it right down to the thyroid. The thyroid affects your metabolism. And that's putting it very, very, very simply. But a metabolism is a whole body process. So why does your whole body care about T3 and T4, which are your thyroid hormones? These hormones are like the energy traffic cops, right? The directors of your body. They regulate how fast or how slow your cellular engines run. Did I break this down? I don't know if I wrote this down. Okay. And they impact your weight, your temperature, your mood, your digestion, and your energy. When your thyroid is off, everything is off. So here's the pop quiz. You mail a registered letter to a friend, but you never heard back. What are you going to check? Well, A, you could check whether the office actually delivered the letter. B, you could check, well, did they receive it? Did they open the letter and read what was inside? C, you might want to check, were they home? to get the letter. Maybe they were on vacation. Or D, all of the above. Oh, I think we're going to check answer D. Yes, all of them can be clues that your friend, there was something wrong with that delivery of that message. Same with your thyroid. Secret number 3. Okay, now I'm taking you to medical school. Buckle up your seatbelts. Because secret number 3, there's another endocrine organ involved. In fact, we call the pituitary, the nickname of the pituitary gland is the master gland. What does that mean? The pituitary can turn on or off signals to the other endocrine glands to get them fired up or calm them down. So, and it works on a feedback system. So what do I mean? If your T3 and T4 are circulating, your pituitary will sense it and say, okay, everything's okay, and just chill. But if your T3 and T4, which are your thyroid hormones, are deficient, if they're too low, then your pituitary is going to send TSH to the thyroid and say, wake up. So in our registered letter analogy, the TSH is, which is a thyroid stimulating hormone. That's what TSH means. It's saying, hey, thyroid, where are your thyroid hormone? Where's your T3? Where's your T4? We're expecting a certain amount. So wake up. And you might notice that if the TSH is high on your blood test, that means your pituitary is yelling, wake up, where are you? You didn't get you're not responding to the message. Open the envelope, read the letter, go to the post office and pick up this registered mail. If the TSH is low, well, that could mean a couple things. Your pituitary is quiet, but that could be good, meaning everything's normal, or it could mean that something, even your pituitary is not paying attention. So you can't just tell with one test what's going on. You need a few. There are a few different ways that, or you need a little more information. Okay, so here's a pop quiz, and I put the diagram on the right because don't we love an open book test? Yes. So what does it mean when the TSH is high, usually? Is that A, your thyroid is overachieving? B, your pituitary is just checking in? Or C, your thyroid may not be responding? What do you think? I'm going to give you time to think on this one because this might be the most important question I ask you today. What does a high TSH level usually mean? Ding, 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 ding. C, the thyroid may not be responding. So if the the T3 and T4 are low, the pituitary gland is going to say, what's going on, thyroid? And send out those notices, the TSH. All right, so here's a bonus. And maybe okay, so the other slide was the most important question, but this will tie everything together. All right, I'll put it that way. Because the master gland, the thyroid, has a boss. The master has a master. The hypothalamus, you don't hear about the hypothalamus much, but sometimes in the news you'll hear about the hypothalamic pituitary axis. Well, this is it right here. The hypothalamus, if the pituitary is not responding, if the pituitary is not functioning, The hypothalamus is going to say, hey, pituitary, get on your job. The thyroid is not making enough thyroid hormone, and I'm not hearing anything from you. So, um, you know, it will send out something called thyroid uh, releasing hormone. Oh, I can't even remember the name. It's a thyrotropin. Yes. So thyroid releasing hormone. So it's telling the pituitary release the thyroid stimulating hormone to stimulate the thyroid. So the hypothalamus is your body's CEO of balance. The pituitary is the traffic director, right? But if things start to break down, it steps in and says, hey, wake up, time to send some backup. The hypothalamus helps your body to adjust your temperature, your stress, your energy levels, your mood, your hunger, your sleep. And when stress is high, the hypothalamus goes into survival mode. So here's the quiz. What else affects how well your hypothalamus, pituitary, thyroid team work together? A, chronic stress. B, micronutrient deficiencies. C, poor sleep. Or D, all of the above. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, all of the above. Chronic stress, nutritional deficiencies, sleep disturbances may all affect the hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis. Okay, all right. So if I could give you a medical degree, I would, but thank you for hanging in there today. I just wanted to share how all of these uh, hormones that show up on your labs work together. And let me introduce myself, Dr. Lisa Singletary, at your service. I'm also known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist, and we're going through the 5 M's of total transformation: mindset, macronutrients, micronutrients, motion, and this is measurement week, so that's why I'm wearing a red shirt. I am a medical doctor, family physician, but I retired. I have lost over 150 pounds. Very, very happy about that. I also have a master's degree in public health, so I have a keen uh, interest in the health of communities, of populations, which is why I love being a holistic health educator. And I'm passionate about empowering you to reach your health goals. So we can see 2006, I had some imbalance going on in my life, right? Fortunately, my thyroid was not the culprit. So when you hear people say, yeah, people who are obese, overweight, obese, morbidly obese, and they blame it on their thyroid, well, that's not always the case, but it could be. So that's one thing we have to explore. But in 2008, I left my practice to go home and take care of my parents. And 8 years later, I needed my father's wheelchair just to get around the house. I needed a miracle. Okay, so this is my disclaimer slide. So prepare to be disclaimed. This is not a medical consultation. We don't, in the wellness community, talk about miracles. We don't talk about healing. We don't talk about, in fact, today, I'm not identifying, diagnosing, healing, or providing any miracles for any medical diseases. I'm just telling you, I needed a miracle. So something happened. I tracked my weight through the years, and something happened in 2015. I learned how I learned the secrets that took me from the picture on the left to the picture on the right and to my continuing journey. So I got another bonus secret for you, and that is the nutrition blueprint for hormone mastery. And my blueprint is the 5 steps to nutritional completeness. Step 1, we need to avoid the foods that cause inflammation in the body. Step number 2, we need to give our body, our cells, our microbiome, all of the essential nutrients that it needs, that they need. Step number 3, it's not just enough to give the building blocks. We also need to help with oxidative stress, inflammation. And that's where the antioxidants, adaptogens, and anti-inflammatories come in. Step number 4, you've heard it said, you are what you eat. That ain't true. When's the last time I said ain't? I can't even remember, but it's not true. Step number 4, you need to be kind to your gut lining and your gut microbiome. Digestive health is paramount. You are not what you eat, you are what you absorb, and you need a healthy, functioning gut lining and microbiome to properly absorb any nutrients you happen to put in your mouth, whether they're from your food or from supplementation. But step 5, welcome to Wellness Wonderland, everybody. Uh, all of the different things you hear that help your health, yeah, great, use them. But you have to build these things on the foundation of the first 4 steps. And what are the 90 essential nutrients? Here's a list, but you don't need to memorize them because there's an easy way to get them. And this is something I take every day. And I'm honored to share this secret with you, which is our brand new Rise and Restore 3.0. This helps me get the right nutrients, the right dosages at the right time of day. So my mornings are supercharged, and my evenings I get to rest and restore. Okay, so today we discovered the secrets. Your thyroid hormones need to be sent, your thyroid hormones, right? That's the message inside the letter. So they need to be sent, delivered, and opened. All 3 matter. Lab tests like TSH by themselves don't give you the full picture. Fatigue, weight changes, mood shifts, they can all be communication issues for the thyroid. And you can influence these signals by nutrition, stress management, and you can monitor your progress with targeted testing. So now, maybe this will help you have a better conversation with your primary care provider. And, maybe you don't want to tell them, well, like I have too many notices, you know, but you can help him. I mean, actually, that might help to share this analogy with your primary care provider. So you're talking the same language, but you can get an understanding of what's going on with your lab panel. So what was your biggest takeaway today? I would love for you to share in the comments something that you learned this week on our journey to optimal health. And guess what? It's the last day on our spring schedule, so I've got some exciting things coming up for the summer. But I want to just thank you for hanging in there with us, and I want to thank the Blue Phoenix for being here all month. June, July, August. we've got some great, great things coming up. Speaking of great things coming up, Coach Judy and I have been doing this webinar, and I would love to invite you to it. Just scan this code or go to drlisasingletary.online/faith, fitness, freedom, but put some hyphens in there. So it's faith hyphen, fitness hyphen, freedom, or just scan the QR code and join us on this journey to optimal health for mind, body, and spirit. We're going to give you the roadmap. But maybe you just aren't sure where to start. Well, I would love it if you'd start this journey with me. All you have to do is go to the Health Hub. That's drlisasingletary.online/health-hub, or scan this QR code. And there are 3 steps there. The first step is to get your own personal health score, because you have to know where you're starting on your journey and then where you want to go. And then we make the map for you to get there. And I promised you that I would give you that chart. So just scan this code or, excuse me, go to drlisasingletary.online/cell-to-cell. And there's that, you're going to see that chart. Also the image about cell-to-cell communication, comparing how your nervous system communicates throughout your body versus how your endocrine system communicates. And I thank you, all of you are here for me live today, here with me for webinar 24. But guess what? We're having a watch party tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Will be the premiere of this recording on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube watching right now, thank you for coming to the party. But if you're on the recording, it's still fun, but I love the watch parties because I'll be in the comments live and we can talk back and forth live together for the premiere. All right, so those are the secrets. We're putting light on the secrets. Thank you all for coming. Now, those of you who are here, don't go away because we are going to take the class photo. But thank you for joining us today. I love you all. Mwah.